Hi, I am Hannu Laukoski. I want to inspire you to catch your own ingredients and make healthy, good, tasty food out of them. Sometimes it's good for camping and camping sites. Sometimes you can even make fancy candlelit dinners. Let's see what we have this time.
This is Outdoors Food. I have always been an outdoors person. I've been camping and hiking and being outdoors basically all my life, and of course eating good food out there. At the age of 6, I joined Boy Scouts, and that's when all kind of started. Same year, I took my first trip to Lapland, started hiking there, and I loved being outdoors ever since. When I was 13, me and my best friend went to hiking Lapland all by ourselves for 5 complete days. Times were a little bit different back then.
This is a fun story. On fourth day, we were hiking by a riverbank, and then we saw these tracks. They were about this size, and we were debating whether they could be bear or something else. They were not that common at that time in that region, so we weren't sure. But when we came back to the cabin next day and watched the local news, they say that there actually were a bear seen right there. And when our parents found out about that, they weren't that pleased. Well, you can imagine that.
This picture has nothing to do with it, but it proves that somebody had seen a bear in Lapland at that time. Whenever I've been outdoors, I've always been interested in cooking. Even at the young age, I was the one fixing meals. Many times it's been basic food, but sometimes also more luxurious food. I have many good friends that are super good chefs in the kitchen, but I'm the one who's always been cooking outdoors with limited resources and ingredients.
So, finally, in the great pandemic year 2020, I took on hunting. I went to have my hunting exam in November, and I passed it. And after that, I applied for gun license, which you have to do in Finland. And currently, well, normally it takes about 2 months to get your license. But this time, so many people have started hunting that it has been 4 months now. I still haven't received it. I'm pretty sure that I'll get it soon. But anyway, that kind of tells you how many people have started about hunting, which is very good. It was about time for me to start doing it because practically everybody in our family have hunted, and I'm kind of a black sheep. My dad never did it, but he was a great fisherman. He actually caught the 3rd largest fish in Finland back in '99, and he's been trying to teach me something. Now that I'm in this healthy, clean environment all by myself, I could take my mask off. Hunting, fishing, being outdoors, that's a healthy, safe place to be. And now my journey is about to start. I hope you guys join me so we can learn how to catch all these new, fresh ingredients and make great meals out of it. It is lunchtime. Usually at this time the deer come and eat. I've taken some carrots over there, but you can't really see anything yet. There are a couple of deers, white-tailed deers and roe deers that appear, but right now there aren't any.
I have a neighbor who's been mentoring, teaching me lately. On the second last day of the season, we went out hunting, and he shot me a roe deer. Then he showed me how to skin it and take the guts out, and I was able to put it up hanging.
All right, everything is set for my first time. I got my meat grinder, I got my vacuum machine, I got knives, they've been sharpened, and yesterday I even got a knife from my wife as a birthday gift. There are hundreds of good videos on YouTube and somewhere else where you can see how you can properly butcher a deer, and this time this is a roe deer. So I'm not gonna make a tutorial of this. I'm just gonna show you first how does it look like when a person who has never ever butchered deer or any other animals before, how does it look like, and then we can see what is the tasty after result out of it. So right now what we do, I'm gonna do my first cut. I want to see these flank steaks and how they come up. Oh, this goes right nicely in here. And oh, it's so tender. And they said that I should take that with my bare hands, so, well, not bare hands, but without the knife. So let's see how this works.
I used so-called 40 method, which means that you let it hang for 40 days if it's +1 Celsius, or if it's +2, then it's 20 days. My challenge was that the temperature wasn't steady, so it was between -1 and +5. So after all, I let it stay there for I think 10 days. It turned out very good. The meat was super tender, tasty too when I tasted afterwards. The only challenge was that it formed some sort of a thick skin for there.
Not half bad, actually.
As you can imagine, accidents do happen when you're a first timer. Well, luckily it wasn't nothing bad, and I did have my gloves on.
And here are finally my two delicious hams. Looks good. I also have the other ingredients here, which I need to cut into smaller pieces next. Today we're gonna make venison vegetable soup. It's probably one of the easiest game food meals that you can make when you're a beginner like I am.
I have used about 400 grams of venison, which is almost a pound, a couple of carrots, parsnip, parsley, turnip, 3 potatoes, and an onion. The first what we need to do is to chop the onion in small pieces. You fry it in the butter, and what you really want to do is to have them in small pieces because in a soup you don't want to have a big chunks, so it's a lot tastier and easier to swallow. You want to stir them and fry them until they start turning into yellowish, and next we put the meat in. I have used shoulders and neck, about 400 grams, which is almost a pound. Some people may use bones also to get some flakes or flavor, but I, for some reason, don't like to use it. And I season it with salt. You can use any salt, but I use sea rock salt. Black pepper, that also goes very well with the game food. And my two favorite seasoning are thyme and rosemary. Those go really well in the all kinds of game food. Not just venison, but everything else. Then we simply fry it until the meat turns brown. And you can see when it's ready. Then we take water. That's about 1 liter, which is 1/4 gallon. And the way to get the meat and all the flavors out of it is just put a little bit extra water into the frying pan, and then when you scrape it off, you can get all tasty bits and the sauce into the boiling pan. In my opinion, all the soups require some meat stock or broth in it, so just put some there. And then you boil it for 20 minutes if the meat's tender like I had, but if it's not so well hung, then you may need longer.
Let's see how it looks like. It's starting to look really yummy.
While you're waiting the meat to be boiled, you can chop the other ingredients.
Now it's been boiling for 20 minutes or so, actually 25. So I'm gonna put all the vegetables in.
And then you of course stir it some. Now, if you really want to make this good, you can put half a glass of red wine in it. It gives the color and flavors. You can use any red wine, doesn't matter. And then you simply boil it for 20 minutes until all the vegetables are soft. After 15-20 minutes, you should start tasting it.
I'm gonna let it be another 5 minutes, and I think it's good.
As a final touch, you can put some parsley in it. I think it's more of a decoration than the taste, but then you're done.
And now we are ready. This is about for 5-6 people, depending how hungry you guys are. So, bon appetit. This turned out to be really nice. I had it yesterday, it was good. And today, when it's day older, it's super tasty, fantastic. And when you're having it with dark bread like this, it's even better. Today was a very good day otherwise. I had a letter finally from the police department. They gave me the gun license. So now I'm ready to get my gun, start hunting and explore all this further. And I hope you join me. And if you like the video, subscribe it. And let's see what will happen next time.
This is Outdoors Food.